All right, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aaron Miner. I'm the Deputy Chief Service Officer for National Service and Fiscal Operations here at NYC Service, and I'm really excited to have all of you join us this afternoon. We're going to be going through a PowerPoint presentation. We'll walk through a little bit about the fellowship, and then we'll talk about each of the positions that is open for this year throughout the presentation. So a lot of information to get through in the next few minutes, but excited to have all of you join us. And Tashawn, if you want to pull up the PowerPoint. All right. So as I mentioned before, during the presentation, we'll talk a little bit about NYC Service, the agency that oversees the fellowship. We'll talk a little bit about what being a fellow is like. The expectations, our NYC Service Fellowship is the program, but the fellows themselves are referred to as coordinators in our office. So you'll see those at times kind of interchangeably. And then we'll talk about the application process itself, talk about the positions, and then a little bit about what you can expect when you finish the fellowship as well. So NYC Service, who are we? NYC Service was founded in 2009 as an answer to a call by then President Obama to increase volunteerism during the height of the Great Recession. And New York City stepped up and said, we'll not just respond to this, but we'll create a municipal office whose goal is to expand civic engagement through volunteerism and service. We were the first of what is known as a city of service, but there are now over 200 cities of service across the city or across the country. And our mission is to build partnerships to deepen and expand civic engagement through volunteer and service programs, creating sustainable change for our city's greatest needs. And our mission really is what we do day to day. So all of our programming that you'll see throughout this presentation understands and falls into kind of these words and this idea that we are here to be the bridge to bring people to city government, to bring communities together in service with one another in order to really make a difference on our city's greatest needs and challenges. And our vision, which is kind of our long-term goal, is to unite New Yorkers in service to advance lifelong civic engagement for a more inclusive and equitable city. And so that's a little bit about NYC Service, sitting in the mayor's office. And now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Steph Halpin. Steph.
Hey, everyone. I'm so glad we have over 100 participants here with us today. So it's really exciting to see how the program has grown over the years. I'm Steph Halpin. I am born and raised in the Bronx, currently living there. So if you're also from the Bronx or live in the Bronx, let me see a shout out in the comments. So who am I and why am I talking to you today? Currently, I'm the communications director for the Racial Justice Commission, but I'm actually returning to NYC Service to be the chief of staff. So for many of you who are joining today, there's a possibility that we could be working together in the future. So also, I love all of the BX love in the chat right now. Other background on me, I was an AmeriCorps member several years ago through the Civic Corps program. Also, if you're a Civic Corps member, would love to see a little shout out in the chat as well. I saw someone heard about this event here today through Civic Corps. So I was a Civic Corps AmeriCorps member, and then I actually went and did the fellowship through NYC Service. So I have a pretty deep understanding of what it's like, and you know, the great experience that you may have if you become a fellow. So just a quick overview of the NYC Service Fellowship. You are part of city government. You'll be a part of an Office of the Mayor, NYC Service, and you'll join a network of public servants here in the city. So it's a pretty great opportunity to learn both about the how city government functions, but also through NYC Service unique positioning in the city to learn about the nonprofit sector and kind of the community-based organization sector as a whole. So embracing the mission and vision is really key to meeting the needs of volunteers, national service members, and all of the partners and organizations we serve. Some expectations that we have for coordinators are, having the ability to be autonomous and really drive things forward, which is really exciting. And I think it's another unique element of this fellowship. So it's, if you're interested in taking initiative and taking on new responsibilities and kind of growing in in both your skill set that you have and maybe skills that you're looking to bring on, this is a great opportunity for you. And also you get to work with a really energetic, exciting team. Oh yeah, am I out? Sorry, it looks like I was on the wrong side. We are a small but mighty team here at NYC Service. There's about 16 folks, I think, right now in NYC Service, all from different backgrounds, different places in the city. So you're joining a really awesome team. And you'll be, of course, with a cohort of other coordinators. And as you can see on this slide here, I'll just kind of like go over like the values and the beliefs of the expectations. Sorry to Sean, I'm like probably driving him crazy. So, what are some expectations and values and beliefs? Participation, diversity and inclusion, community, and collaboration. So these, values and beliefs show up in lots of different ways. But bringing that into like the work that you're doing and sort of the communities that you're impacting, but also in the community of the office. And we bake these values and beliefs into everything that we do. Let's see. I believe that's everything. So now that you know a little bit about NYC Service and kind of, a little bit of an insight into the culture, Tashawn's going to walk you through the application process.
Great. So, hi, I'm Tashawn Morgan. I'm the Senior Advisor for Strategic Partnerships. Getting used to saying that is my new title. And I am an AmeriCorps alum and a former coordinator myself. Also, New Yorker from Brooklyn, so any Brooklyn people love to see you. But I'll go over the application process with all of you today. And to start, residency, similar to city employees, you must live within the 5 boroughs and be approved to work. New York City, give me 1 second. Seems like I'm meeting someone. And with that education requirements, you must have a bachelor's degree and no more than 4 years out of undergrad or graduate program. And then we really look for 1 year of national service or volunteer experience. And that can be shown through in your resume if you've done things like other AmeriCorps programs, did Peace Corps, you did any type of community service, volunteerism. As long as you have some experience that you can talk about in your resume, we would need to see that. Then next is the application component. So on the application, which you'll see on our website, how you got the link for all of this today, is that you can start the application. When you click the link, you put in your email address and your name, and then you're able to, that link that you have, hold on to that link because that's how you'll be able to go back to your application. Your Each page saves when you go to the next page, so you don't have to worry about losing anything you have as long as you're able to save and then go to the next page. Also, you need transcript. To submit your application, you need an unofficial transcript. However, if you are accepted and you're giving an offer, you'll have to present an official transcript to HR. Next is 1 page in length resume. We say that this is just a professional tip for all of you. Try not to have 3-4 pages of a resume going through, but submit one. Next is we have a personal statement. That will be the place where we really see your passion for service, your writing ability. All of those things will be able to come across in that essay. And then you'll need to have references that you'll provide, 2 references that we may contact during the process. And then you just submit your application. After that, on our website, and you'll see the little picture on the side of my screen where you'll see related docs, but when you go to the webpage, you'll see all of our available positions will be listed on the website below. And then we'll have the link to the application, as I said earlier, will be on there. And then on the right side of the screen is where like other instructions or any related docs and just general information you may need will be there for you to help you along throughout the process. And now typically who applies? It goes back to what I said about the personal statement. It really is talking about that community building, that service, people who are really interested in government, nonprofit work, really being able to build out projects during the year. It's a big part of just the coordinator experience, being able to create new things for the office. But then when it comes to backgrounds, we have people from all different types of backgrounds and educational backgrounds and degrees that get involved in our work. Part of it is just having different minds come together with really that true passion for service and being able to make that impact along the way. And then aspirations, a lot of the coordinators in our program ultimately want to have a career in one of those 3 sectors you see there. And depending on their work, they get to interact with those sectors throughout the year. Application timeline. So you see our application deadline is May 13th. It closes at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for any of you who are not on the East Coast. After that, we will be doing phone screens. So between that May 13th and that May 30th date is when our team will be really looking at all of those applications that we've seen come in and then deciding who would we want to move forward towards the phone screen process. Between May 30th and June 17th, we will be doing about 2 to 3 different types of interviews. The first one is a phone interview. The other ones will be a virtual interview throughout the process. And these will involve other NYC Service colleagues and your potential supervisor. Candidates will be notified of their acceptance by June 30th, and then the onboarding process takes place around that August to September time, hoping that they can start. Majority of our roles will be starting either late August, early September due to onboarding. And now I'll be turning it back over to Steph and Aaron, and you'll be able to hear from them on the roles that we have available this year. So we'll turn it over to Steph to talk about our first role.
Awesome. I just also wanted to address one question quickly. So all of the positions you'll hear about today are based out of the NYC Service office, which is located in downtown Manhattan. We're at 253 Broadway. So we're by the 2-3, the A, 456, very central to many trains. So I just wanted to kind of address that quickly. So first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the capacity building coordinator. There are 2 different capacity building coordinator positions. This one is focusing on city agency support. This is really a great opportunity if you're interested in learning about other city agencies and how they work with community-based organizations and volunteers to really address New Yorkers' needs. So if you have any aspirations to go into city government, to build networks here, this is a great opportunity. You'll build communication and coaching skills, and gain experience and be able to take quick action. The second capacity building coordinator position focuses more on community support. And similar, you'll be on the same team as the city agency focus capacity building coordinator, but you're really going to be focusing on the NYC nonprofit landscape, working at a really hyper local level, and building skills on coordination and coaching as well, but specifically with community-based organizations and nonprofits. So those are the two capacity building coordinator positions. The youth strategies coordinator, this is great for anybody who wants to activate youth in service and policy. You yourself will build coordination and coaching experience. And what's interesting about this role is that you're both working with city agencies and nonprofits. And there's a large focus with the NYPD. So just a little bit of background on the youth. I think, do we have YLC here? No. I think about 6 or 7 years ago, NYC Service launched a youth leadership program, youth leadership councils. We call them YLCs for short. The program has grown over the years to include about 1,500 youth. So that's a lot of youth leaders who are active in their communities, doing great work, and partnering with local organizations and city agencies. A bulk of what this coordinator position will do is develop communication strategies to youth and to their adult support networks. And you can also, this is what's really fun, is you get to really interact with the young people who are active in the program, and really empower them to lead from the inside as well. Also, this role focuses on recruiting new host sites in youth to really grow and strengthen the program. And then you'll also be responsible for supporting with over 25 trainings and kickoff programs. So, for example, is it possible to, sorry, I'm like getting ahead of myself. So for example, across the 5 boroughs, you might be working to bring together different YLCs. So aside from the kind of like smaller networks of youth leadership councils, you bring together larger groups of them so that they can meet and really focus on shaping the future of the city. So it's a really awesome opportunity as well. And then the final one that I'll talk about today is the digital engagement coordinator. This is a great role for anyone interested in communications, marketing, PR, and as you can see from the 3 bullets listed out, if you like talking to thousands of New Yorkers on the daily, we have several different communications platforms, including our social media accounts, our email accounts, which many of you, got here today through, and the NYC Service website. The current website is over 10 years old, and we're working on redeveloping and building a new site. So the digital engagement coordinator will primarily focus on social media marketing and launching the new website. And what's also really great about this opportunity is there's tons of cross collaboration. You'll be able to work really closely with every team at NYC Service, and learn about the programs that they're working on, and really be able to message all of that information out to the NYC Service audiences. So this is great if you're, like I said, if you're interested in creating content, if you're interested in writing, working in media, working with potentially press and on social platforms. This is really like a great opportunity for you. As we move on to the next position, I'm going to let Aaron speak about these because he's got the deep knowledge.
Thanks, Steph. Hi again. Erin, I oversee all of our national service work. As I mentioned before, I'm a very proud AmeriCorps alum and have worked in AmeriCorps programming my entire career, including from the founding of NYC Service 2000, back in 2009. Really proud to be a part of that founding team here. And so we have several positions that work to support our national service or AmeriCorps work, both within NYC Service and also with the partners of other AmeriCorps and national service programs throughout the 5 boroughs. So the first position is the National Service Professional Development Coordinator. If you're interested in kind of developing and building out curriculum, if you want to build out your own presentation skills, this is a great role because this role will develop and manage key elements over 200 hours of training that we provide for our 200 plus members and supervisors each year. Also, we present networking and career building events for our members. And so this role will oversee the development and creation and then presentation of those. And then finally, collecting and analyzing the metrics, surveys to see what's working with members, what is not, and also any metrics we're collecting both for federal compliance as well as for our private funders and for the city as well. So that's the Professional Development Coordinator. The next role is the National Service Program Coordinator. We have 4 of those roles here in our office. Several of those will be returning coordinators, so you'll have some colleagues who have been through this before. But each of the program coordinators support 30 to 40 AmeriCorps members and their supervisors at either nonprofits or city agencies, depending on our programs. They also develop and lead member events and service days. We do several of those throughout the program year to help build team across our AmeriCorps programs, and then also manage aspects of program compliance and reporting. So doing things, if you're interested in kind of building out your management skills, building out your interpersonal communication skills, these roles do a lot of one-on-one meetings, a lot of kind of building out of partnerships, leading on things, on different events and project management. This is a good role. And if you happen to have been an AmeriCorps member, my entire team currently are all AmeriCorps alums, which is helpful. So if you've had an AmeriCorps experience and want to be able to share to help other members to achieve their potential during their time serving, this is a great role for you. Our next role is our National Service Operations Coordinator. So the role, the word operations is really critical here. We have a lot of compliance and a lot of things that are important to maintain and oversee for our federal grants, grants in plural, for all of our programs. So this role oversees key elements of our data and reporting system. So reviewing and reporting out on monthly report data from members and supervisors, developing and building out surveys and other instruments to collect that data. This upcoming year, we'll want to reimagine some of those data and reporting systems. And so the coordinator will lead on that. And then we'll also work across our programs on compliance and program effectiveness. So helping to support the team on those things. This role will also oversee, we currently have 2 different evaluations going on, one of our alums and one of our NYC Civic Corps program. So this role will oversee the relationship with our evaluators and help to shape the final reports for each of those evaluations. So if you're interested in operations and again have an interest in AmeriCorps, this is a role for you. And then the final role on the National Service Team, we have several coordinators on our team, is the National Service Recruitment and Partnerships Coordinator. So each year we have about 200 AmeriCorps members that serve across our programs. It takes a lot of time and resources and energy to get at least 300 to 400 people applying for those 200 positions. And so in addition, we have about 60 to 70 host sites each year, both nonprofits and city agencies. And that takes kind of time to recruit all those folks, make sure the positions work, and make sure that they're ready to host the member. So this role is really about building out partnerships as well as kind of communicating out our mission and vision, and why people should want to be interested to join as well. So this role leads a member and host site recruitment process, attends career fairs and leads info sessions both for interested host sites, so nonprofits or city agencies, as well as for potential members, and then implements host site outreach strategy, develop new placement options. So we're always looking, there may be parts of the city or certain issue areas that we're really interested in placing members with. And so this role will help to redefine that strategy and think about how we can attract those host sites to be part of our program. So that is the National Service Recruitment and Partnerships Coordinator position. And with that, I'll turn it back to Sean.
Okay, I will, before jumping into this, I'll quickly address the question we've got a couple times in the chat, is that you are able to apply for more than one position. You'll have to put which, if you go through the application, you'll see that there'll be a point where you'll list out which positions you're most interested in. And the other one that I see we got a lot is around the requirement, the school requirement. It is that you have to be no more than 4 years out of undergraduate or graduate school. But what is it? Post pretty much life after, a lot of our coordinators end up going into grad school for some of these areas you'll see listed here. And then a lot of our coordinators end up, due to just their interests or networks that they made during their time here, end up going on to pursue roles at other city agencies, nonprofits, or within the private sector. This is really a time that we try to talk to our coordinators to get an understanding of what their next step would be like, and try to help guide them along the way during that time. But in closing for all of this, just some quick reminders. Once again, that the application, all of those documents that I mentioned earlier are all required. The application closes Friday, May 13th by 5 p.m. Eastern. The website has all the things you'll need, all the resources. This recording will also be on the website. You'll have access to all the things that we talked about. And then for additional support, you would reach out to the NYC Service Fellow at cityhall.nyc.gov, and someone from our team will try to answer your questions that you have there. But that is everything for us. I hope that we were able to answer the majority of the questions you have. If you are currently, I did see this a couple times, you are eligible to apply if you are in grad school. If you're currently in grad school, that's fine. The main thing is you need to have a bachelor's degree and be 4 years